A 19-year-old is leading the Formula One World Championship. Not chasing it, not sneaking into the points. Leading it, 9 points clear of his teammate, a veteran of multiple seasons at the front of the grid. And the people who know this sport most intimately, the ones who have stood on those same podiums, carried those same pressures, are saying, quietly but clearly, that they are not surprised. That tells you something important, not just about Kimi Antonelli, but about what it actually takes to move from potential to performance in the most demanding motorsport on the planet. Today, we are going to unpack that journey carefully, because the numbers only tell half the story. Let us establish the facts first. Through the opening 3 rounds of the 2026 Formula One season, Kimi Antonelli has won 2 Grands Prix, Shanghai and Suzuka, and finished second in Melbourne, where his teammate George Russell took the win. He also came home 5th in the China Sprint. That is 3 podiums from 3 Grands Prix weekends, including back-to-back victories and a championship lead. To understand the weight of those numbers, consider this. Antonelli is the first teenager in the history of Formula One to record multiple Grand Prix victories. He is also the youngest driver ever to lead the Drivers' Championship. These are not soft records. These are not statistical quirks. These are markers that place him in a category of one. And yet, if you watch the people around him, his teammates, his rivals, the figures who have occupied the Mercedes garage before him, what you notice is the absence of shock. There is admiration, there is warmth, but there is no disbelief. And that distinction matters enormously. Valtteri Bottas drove for Mercedes for 5 seasons. He lined up alongside Lewis Hamilton, won 10 races, and understood what it meant to perform under the weight of a championship-caliber team. When he speaks about Antonelli, his words carry earned authority. His assessment was precise. I think it was just a matter of time with the machinery they have this year, and he just had a solid weekend. Very good qualifying, very good race, and got the win. Read that carefully. Bottas is not diminishing the achievement. He is contextualizing it. He is saying that when the machinery is competitive and the driver is ready, results like this are not accidents. They are convergences. The machine was ready. And so, finally, was the driver. Bottas went further. He's definitely grown a lot. He's still very young and gaining experience from every weekend, but I was always expecting him to make a step from year 1 to year 2. That phrase, a step from year 1 to year 2, is one of the most important concepts in understanding how careers at the front of Formula One actually develop. A first season in a front-running car is rarely about winning. It is about survival, about learning the architecture of the weekend, the rhythm of practice, the nerve required in qualifying, the management of race pace under pressure. The victories, if the driver is genuinely capable, come later. And that is precisely what we are watching unfold. Because it is worth being honest about Antonelli's 2025 campaign. It was not a clean sweep. It was not a quiet, composed introduction. It was turbulent. He took a sprint pole in Miami. He stood on the podium in Canada. Those were the high points. But between and around them, there were crashes. There were difficult weekends. There was a stretch of 6 scoreless finishes from 7 Grands Prix, a run that hurt Mercedes in the constructors' battle and raised genuine questions about consistency. The team finished second in the Constructors' Championship behind McLaren. And while a portion of that deficit can be attributed to other factors, the reality is that Antonelli, in his rookie season, was not yet delivering what a number 2 driver in a championship-winning team needs to deliver. He found his form late. Back-to-back podiums in Brazil and Las Vegas steadied the ship. But it was a season that demanded patience. From the team, from the observers, and most importantly, from the teenager himself. That patience, it now appears, was justified. What separates the 2026 Antonelli from the 2025 version is not just speed. It is composure under adversity, and there have already been tests of it in the opening 3 rounds. In Melbourne, he crashed in final practice, pushed too hard, lost the car, and had to rebuild mentally before a qualifying session and a Grand Prix weekend that still needed delivering. He finished second. That is not a small thing. In Suzuka, he started from pole position and was dropped back to 6th on the opening lap. A poor start on the grandest stage. For a young driver, that moment can be the beginning of a spiral. You lose the clean air. You find yourself in traffic. The race that looked controllable from the front suddenly requires something different from you. Antonelli navigated it. He won. Bottas, who spent last season as Mercedes' reserve driver and watched Antonelli's debut campaign from inside the garage, sent him a message of congratulations after Shanghai. He described himself as really proud. These are not the words of someone watching an unexpected outcome. These are the words of someone watching a trajectory they had privately anticipated, finally arriving. Zoom out for a moment and consider what is happening in the rest of the field, because context sharpens the picture considerably. At Audi, now operating without their recently departed team principal, Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto are 3 rounds into the season without a single points finish between them. Hülkenberg qualified 13th in Japan and ended the race 11th, undone by a poor start that sent him as far back as 19th on the opening lap. Bortoleto, who showed the promise of a top 10 qualifier by reaching 9th on the grid in Suzuka, eventually finished 13th, a reflection of a team that, by their own admission, has a lot of work ahead. The comparison is instructive, not cruel. Bortoleto is also a talented young driver in his first or second season at this level. The difference in outcomes is, in large part, a reflection of machinery and team infrastructure. Bottas was careful to acknowledge this when speaking about Antonelli. With the machinery they have this year, because a great driver in a poor car produces very different results from a great driver in a great car. The question Formula One always asks, and rarely answers cleanly, is this: where does the machinery end and the driver begin? Kimi Antonelli is 19 years old. He leads the Formula One World Championship. The people who have watched him most closely, from inside the garage, from the paddock, from the seats of the cars he now races against, are calling it a matter of time rather than a stroke of fortune. And that, perhaps, is the most significant thing of all. So here is the question for the comments section. Is Kimi Antonelli already a genuine championship contender? Or is it still too early to separate the driver from the car?